well, I can't really stand Donald Trump personally, but I think the economy good, when he was in. I think the economy was good. Look, people are trying to rationalize voting for this guy. I will say this. I think some people's memories are a little fuzzy about what 4 years ago was. Keep in mind, 4 years ago, we had lost 2.7 million jobs. Unemployment had shot way up. Supply chains were devastated because Donald Trump botched the pandemic response. You remember the days when you were trying to find hand sanitizer and toilet paper? That was because of Donald Trump, just to be very clear about that. Not to mention the tens of thousands of Americans that died because he did not take COVID seriously. That's what happened. So look, 4 years ago, when he tells you, oh, were things better 4 years ago? Yeah, if you were a billionaire because you got a tax cut. The rest of us got screwed during the deal. That's what happened. Look, what do you expect from a guy? And I keep saying this. Let's just dispel the myth of this, that Donald Trump is some type of businessman or whatever. This guy went bankrupt 6 times. Everything he touched went bankrupt. So I'm going to say it, and I think now in the last 7 days, let's just talk turkey about things. Donald Trump's a loser in everything that he's done. That's not a pejorative. That's an observation based on facts. He loses jobs. He loses businesses. He loses in court. And no matter what J.D. Vance says, he lost the 2020 election. Now, I know some of you feel a little bit of anxiety these last 7 days. The news media, they want you to click on things because all of a sudden, exciting news about the election. So you click on it, so they can make money or whatever. Look, don't take any of that. Don't take any of that. You know what the antidote is to the anxiety you're feeling? Go out and vote for Kamala Harris. That's right. Vote. We got it. We don't. You got it. That's our power. That's our power. Trump wants to talk about the past. Kamala's got a new way forward. She knows this economy works best when it works for all of us. That's the way it needs to be. I am incredibly proud to be on this ticket with her, especially for this, because you heard about the coaching and stuff. We've got real plans for America. Not concepts of plans, real plans. Lower costs, put more money back in your pocket, and make sure that everybody in this country gets an opportunity to get ahead, not just get by. And I want to talk about this. Taking on the price gougers that we talk about, why are grocery prices so high? That's what farmers are asking. Why in the hell are farmers still making $4 a bushel for corn when fruit prices were 30% cheaper when they were making $4 for corn? Somebody's taking money in the middle. We'll attack that, making sure on the national level, take on price gougers. This issue about giving tax cuts, Donald Trump will do it. He will give tax cuts, but it will be for the richest amongst us. We want to give tax cuts to 100 million middle-class Americans, the folks who are working. This one is transformational. We did it in Minnesota. We did it during the pandemic. $6,000 child tax credit in the first year of that child's life. Matters. And this issue, you know this, they want to talk about things that don't impact you. The things that impact you, the young folks in here too. Where are you going to find child care? Where are you going to find childcare? How are you going to afford it? We're talking about making sure we're hiring more people to work in childcare, and we're incentivizing and being able to subsidize some of the costs so that folks can get out and work. That makes a difference. Now, they asked J.D. Vance where we should get childcare, and he said, ask Grandma to do it. Because God knows Grandma's not doing anything else, like having a career and living her life and doing things like that. We should offer classes to these guys to learn how to talk to women so they can get this right, because they don't know how to do it. Kamala wants to extend, and this is another one of those big issues, access to affordable pharmaceuticals. These aren't nice to have things. This is not a new pair of tennis shoes. This is insulin that you need to save your life. And so when we capped it at $35 for seniors, she wants to take it for everyone. We did it in Minnesota. The reason we did it for everyone in Minnesota was there was a young man named Alex Smith. He turned 26 and got off his parents' insurance. He started rationing his insulin. He died. His mom, Nicole, came to the state capitol and said, never again will I have a mother lose her child. So we have $35 insulin for everyone. Not only is that the right thing to do, but this is the price gouging issue. They were charging for that little vial of insulin that we now cap at $35. They were charging $800 for it. It cost $5 to make it. They're still making $30 for each one. They will do just fine. So look, for all of us in here too, and the young folks in here, I know this one's not going to register much with you, but trust me, when you turn 60 and get in there, there's a couple things you really start paying attention to, Medicare being one of them. That's how we live with dignity when we get older. Kamala proposed having Medicare pay for in-home care so our seniors and our parents can live in their homes longer. Smart. Now listen, everybody, and they say, well, what are their concrete plans? You're not going to hear Donald Trump talking about this stuff because he doesn't believe in Medicare, doesn't believe in Social Security, doesn't care. But when she said, let's expand Medicare to pay for glasses and hearing aids, what a novel idea. What a novel idea. Now, Trump's plan, they had a bunch of experts look at it. Trump's plan will bankrupt Social Security in 6 years. 6 years. Now, I want to just talk about this on Social Security. When you're a billionaire and you're sitting down at Mar-a-Lago, and remember, the reason he's a billionaire because his dad gave him $400 million. Any one of you would be multiple billionaires richer than him if you had it started out. But look, he doesn't give a damn if the Social Security check gets deposited or not. You know who does care? My nearly 90-year-old mom, because she pays for food and heat with that money. And you know what? She paid into it. She paid into it. Now, Donald Trump wanted to tell us, and J.D. Vance tried to explain to me after Trump's concept of a plan. He tried to explain the plan, and I said, you should go back to the concept, because when you explain it, it's even worse. Because what he explained is getting rid of the Affordable Care Act. And for all of you who've forgotten, and for folks in here, what Obamacare did was make sure insurance companies could not determine whether they covered you or not because you had a pre-existing condition. Yeah, we're not going back to that. These folks get it. Here's the oldest. Even Donald Trump could figure out this business model. Insurance companies want to only insure healthy people, and they want to make it difficult for you to make a claim and collect the money because that way they get to keep the money. What ACA said is because you've had asthma when you were younger, or because you're a woman, or because you hurt your knee, you're not going to be excluded from this, and you're going to get health care because guess what? Health care should be a basic human right to be able to take care of people. And the system works. And this idea of home ownership, all of us in here who've had the privilege and the ability to be able to own a home know that one of the biggest obstacles to getting in that home is the down payment that you need to get in. If you're like me, I used a VA loan where you don't have to have a down payment. What Kamala's proposing is making sure everybody gets a $25,000 credit to be able to get your down payment into your home. Look. And the folks in here who have an American dream to start your own business, we know that the richest and the biggest companies in this country don't pay any tax right now. They get a lot of tax credits and a lot of breaks. And speaking of not paying taxes, Donald hasn't paid 10 of the last 15 years in federal tax. So what we think is we have those folks pay their fair share, and then we start focusing a $50,000 tax credit on small business owners for they're able to get off the ground. Makes more sense. But not Donald. He wants to give another tax cut to his buddy Elon to make sure, even more. At your expense. He's got a plan that no one agrees with. Remember during COVID, he didn't want to listen to medical personnel. He told you to inject bleach. Well, his same acumen around epidemiology applies to business. He thinks if he's going to do his tails tax, which he wants to tell you are tariffs, and China's going to pay for them, China's not paying for them. You're paying for them. $4,000 a year. $4,000 a year out of your pocket. All right. You would think after nearly 80 years he would have learned what a tariff is, wouldn't you? It's an 80-year-old man. He should have learned this thing. Did I say he was nearly 80? That he was nearly 80? That's all right. So he's nearly 80. He said, I'm not nearly 80. It's like 18 months away. He's nearly 80. Look, some of you in here, and I know there's folks in this room, we know that our system of government was never perfect, but it was better than any other one ever concocted. And it meant working together. And let's just acknowledge, the Republican Party over the years contributed much to this country. And the parties that kept their word, when those old Republicans talked about freedom, they meant it. That's not who this guy is. When this guy talks about freedom to have government in your doctor's office, in your school library, in your bedroom. Golden rule up north, as I'm sure it is down south. Things work better if you just mind your own damn business about my bedroom. Stay out of your bedroom. Kamala knows when she talks about freedom for you to make the decision, not politicians. Because I will be damned if we need Donald Trump concerned with our bedrooms. I'll be damned if we need that. He needs to worry about his own on this. You know that. Look. Other things on freedom. Freedom to make those healthcare choices. Freedom for our seniors to retire with dignity. And I'm going to talk on Social Security, that issue again. Donald Trump called it a Ponzi scheme. It is the single greatest anti-poverty program that we pay into. And his plan is to strip that money out, give it to his private investors on Wall Street, and then we know how they'll be. To the union members in here, the union folks in this room know, teachers, the rest of you, a defined benefit pension plan is security, and that's what we're talking about. Social Security helps add to that. And I say this as a dad, as a teacher, as a governor. Our children should be free as little ones to get dressed up, head to school to learn and be kids, and not be shot dead in that classroom. It's ridiculous. You know it. And don't take a back seat on this. I know guns. I am a veteran. I'm a hunter. I'm a gun owner. Kamala's a gun owner. What we know is we can clearly uphold the Second Amendment while also upholding our first responsibility, protecting our children. Lots of stuff going on. 7 days, lots of anxiety, all these things going on. I'm going to take just 1 second here before we wrap up to talk to the guys in this room, and thank you for coming. Think about this. Think for a moment about the women you love in your life, your partners, your wives, just all the rest of them. Their lives are at stake in this election. That's what's here. Donald Trump's the one who appointed those Supreme Court justices, those three, who overturned Roe versus Wade. Now, young women in this room, you've got less rights than your moms had. 20 states, including this state, have a Trump abortion ban. He calls them a beautiful thing. Georgia, you're seeing it here. You know what a beautiful thing looks like. Amber Thurman, mom of a 6-year-old boy, medical assistant, dreaming of being a nurse. Trump took down Roe. She was forced to wait 20 hours to get urgent medical care she desperately needed. Her death was found to be preventable when she couldn't get the care she needed here. As a parent, as an American, as a human being, that makes me sick as hell that would happen. We're hearing these stories all across the country. Women are turned away from emergency rooms, having miscarriages in parking lots, survivors of rape and incest being forced to carry those pregnancies to term, and fertility clinics turning people away at the door. And I said, none of these women. Amber wouldn't want to have her name out there. Her family's grieving over her death. But we're out here because we know what they've done could be worse. For Gwen and I, we struggled for years to have kids. We used fertility treatments. We finally had that beautiful daughter, and I have to tell you, I will be damned if I'll allow any politician, let alone Donald Trump, make that decision for your family. Keep in mind, this is the power. We are not going back, and we've got the power to do this. We're not going to just elect Kamala Harris president. We're going to take back the House and hold that Senate. And you know why we're going to do it? Because America's counting on us, and she'll make sure that when we do that and a reproductive freedom bill comes to her desk, she will sign it. I said it earlier. You're here because you love this country. But I'm just going to say it. That can't be said about all candidates in this race. Trump last week called this country the garbage can for the world. Literally trash talking this country. Look, folks, it doesn't get much simpler than this. Donald Trump does not love this country because he is incapable of loving anything other than himself. That's what it is. Kamala, I, and all of you, we believe this is the greatest nation on earth. She believes in the founding promise just like you, and she's ready to fight for it. So here's the deal, folks. 1 week from today, we're going to win this thing. We're going to win this thing. I can feel it. We are joyful, optimistic, and momentum's on our side. But I've been through enough of these, and I've been through enough of them in life. We're not taking anything for granted. So now it's time for a little bit of a peck talk, Fecal. This thing is tied, and you know it. It's tie game. 2 minutes left on the clock. The good news is we've got the damn ball. We're driving that thing down the field. We got the best quarterback in Kamala Harris leading the way. And the team in this room is the right team to win it. All right, those of you who've played these things and know, and to the football guys in here know, end of the fourth quarter, easy to get tired, easy to start doubting, easy to maybe say it's not worth it. But I'll tell you what, this is where champions dig deep. This is when you say there's too much on the line and too many people are counting on me. We're going to push through this thing. So we're going to keep pushing this down the field, 1 inch at a time, 1 yard at a time, 1 phone call at a time, 1 door knock at a time, 1 vote at a time. Look, you are in a unique position where Savannah and this part of Georgia and the state of Georgia could not only make the difference for this state, but for the entire country and the rest of the world when we win this thing. Get that cousin to the poll. Get that person who says, oh, I'm just really not into politics. Too damn bad. Politics is into you. So go get it done. If you can go to KamalaHarris.com, give $1 or $2, it matters. But the most important thing here is vote, vote, vote. Look, you know it. In-person voting till November 1st, you can get it done. If you've got a mail ballot, drop it in the mailbox. Don't wait anymore. If you're looking to vote in person, iwillvote.com/GA to get that done. Take your ID with you. And I know you all have at least one person you can take to the polls. This thing in Georgia might be won by 1 or 2 per precinct. I was asking last time, how many did we win by last time? And somebody said, ask Trump. He was trying to find those ballots. 11,000. Let's win by more than 11,400 this time. I will say this, though. I will take any win down here. And if we win Georgia by just a single vote, I will go away happy knowing that was Jimmy Carter's vote that put us over the line. So, there we go. So, folks, make a plan to vote. Make a plan to get somebody to vote. If you can volunteer, we've got great teams out here. Knock a couple doors, call people. This takes your anxiety away because you're in the fight. You're making it happen. And for all of you, you're here because you believe in the promise of America. Even some of you younger people, you're going to be on that porch in your rocking chair someday, and there's going to be a little one at your knee and say, what did you do in 2024 to save democracy? And you're going to say, every damn thing I could do. Every damn thing I could do. So look, folks, we know what's up. We got this group here. Kamala says it. When we fight, we win. Right now it's when we vote. We win. Let's win this, Georgia. Let's go.